folks. How are you?
It was President Biden who pushed for the early debate, and he had one job to do: to convince a skeptical electorate he wasn't too old for the job. But within minutes of the debate opening, he did exactly the opposite.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
His campaign later claimed he had a cold, but it was Biden's mental faculties that seemed impaired.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
By contrast, Trump's delivery was steady and confident, even as he repeated his multiple falsehoods.
He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylums.
He got away with it because Biden's performance was so jarring.
For the ability for us to be able to negotiate drug prices.
Even on issues like abortion that should have been a slam dunk for the president, Biden's responses were mumbling and at times incoherent.
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state.
At a Republican watch party down the street, there was glee as Biden stumbled from one confused comment to the next.
I don't think that for the average American, this is going to be a big vote of confidence for Biden.
Biden did land some punches, notably in response to Trump's personal attack on the president's son.
My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
And there was doubtless Democratic relief when Biden coherently nailed Trump for his criminal conviction and alleged affair with Stormy Daniels.
Having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. What are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
In the spin room, Trump's supporters were having a field day.
We just crushed Joe Biden and one of the great victories of all time.
While visibly shaken Democratic pundits aired the unthinkable.
I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that.
But the Democrat many believe could replace Joe Biden as the nominee was staunch in his defense of the president.
What about his performance? What about his performance tonight? Everyone's questioning his performance.
Well, how about the substance? Again,
But it's the performance everyone's talking about, Governor.
So I care about the substance.
You have to address the performance. Everyone's talking about the performance.
I'll never turn my back on President Biden.
I think you all are talking about style. And the people I'm talking to in Georgia, listen, let me finish. The people I'm talking to in the state of Georgia, they're not focused on style.
The Democratic Party is 100% and going to be 100% behind Joe Biden.
But should you be after tonight's performance?
It seemed to many like they were operating in an alternative universe. Jill Biden, too, as she praised her husband like a clever schoolboy.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
But on the morning commute, voters weren't mincing their words.
Joe Biden, it seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. And I believe that in this day and time, we need a president who's capable of leading.
I was disappointed. It was a gut punch to see how Biden performed. He didn't look well. In this country, it's all about how you present, and I think that's going to stick with people.
For the faithful at a campaign event in North Carolina today, there's still belief Joe Biden can turn things round. But not only did he lose his debate gamble last night, there's a creeping fear among some Democrats he may have just lost them the election too. Well, in the last hour, Joe Biden has given a very defiant speech at that campaign rally in which he said he still intends to win the election in November and defended his performance last night. Let's hear from the president now.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
Well, is there a mechanism to force him to move if they want to? There are two things that the Democrats could do. They could try and remove him as president now, the nuclear option, if you like, and that would be by the cabinet taking the 25th Amendment, whereby they would take a vote to declare Joe Biden unable to discharge the duties and powers of his office. I think we all know that that is not going to happen. The White House is very much sticking behind him. The other option is to get to the party's convention in August and to essentially force him to stand down from the nomination, open it up to challengers to come in. But I think that that is extremely unlikely to happen either, given what we heard Gavin Newsom, one of the likely challengers, saying there in my package. So I think the only option really is for Joe Biden himself to voluntarily stand down. But given what we just heard him say now, we know that that is definitely not going to happen. So whether they like it or not, the Democrats are going to have to accept that they are stuck with Joe Biden and all the lurid headlines between now and November, including another debate coming up in September.